What's up everybody, it's MasterAquatics and I'm bringing you guys another video. Alright, so I just wanted to update you guys really quick, really quick on these fry that I just moved into my 75-gallon tank. I can't really say that they're fry anymore. I mean, they're pretty big now. They're still not sellable yet. They still need about 2 weeks and then they're going to be about dime size, and then hopefully I can sell a few of them, but I don't know. I think I might hold off a little bit longer than 2 weeks and wait about another month until they grow to the point where I can see their color is really good and I can determine the quality of their fin and body shape and body type. But they seem to be doing fine. I mean, nothing too crazy is going on with them right now in the 75-gallon tank. They were a little shy at first when they were first introduced into their new home, but they have quickly gotten comfortable and realized that this is their new home and it's a lot better than where they used to be. As you can see, this one right here, it has some black markings on it, and the fin is pretty long, so that one might be a veil tail, but can't find out until later on when it gets a little bit bigger. Some are bigger than the others, but they're all getting along here in this tank because there's so many hiding spots for these guys. They can literally hide inside my crypts, behind some Anubias, wherever they please. There's plenty of space for them to move around and to get away from each other if needed, and I really enjoy watching them in their new home. They seem so happy. Take that one for example. It seems like it's pretty happy. It's not struggling for air. It's not starving. It's not being bullied. It's in perfect healthy shape, and same with the rest of them. The only thing that I can say is that I did lose an angelfish in this tank already, and I think it just got too close to the filter and it caused it to die, which is very unfortunate. But you know, I knew that, you know, there was a chance of that happening with these guys, and that's why I didn't put all of my angelfish in here. I put about half. I still have to go back into the 20-gallon tank and get some of the big ones in there and put them in this tank. Actually, the majority of them in the 20-gallon tank are pretty big, and I got to move them soon eventually, and then I got to get the batch in the 10-gallon tank and move them into my 20-gallon tank because they're getting too big for that 10-gallon tank. But when the time comes, then I'll go ahead and handle that. But as of right now, I'm just taking things very slow. I don't want to lose my fry, my fish, because I do want to sell these guys later on. A lot of people keep asking me about when I'm going to sell the fry and how I'm going to do it and where am I going to do it. When these fish get a little bit bigger, I plan on selling them on eBay, and what I'll do is I will ship them out to you. More than likely, I'm going to sell these off as an auction. Whoever is the highest bidder on these guys, they will get fish sent out to them. And real quick, before I finish that discussion, I just want to say they are finally eating some flakes. It just seems like when you put angelfish in a 75-gallon tank, they automatically know, and it's encoded in their DNA that they need to start eating flakes when they get into a really big tank. Because I could not get these guys to eat flakes in a 20-gallon tank. They would always want baby brine shrimp, but in this tank they're all going for the flakes, which is good. It makes me happy. It's just I wish they were doing that in a 20-gallon tank, because I ended up using up a lot of the baby brine shrimp that I did not want to use up. And that's the dead fish that I mentioned earlier. It's right underneath the filter. It was on the filter earlier, but I took it off. I should have got that dead fish out of the tank, but whatever. Again, you know, these guys, they're just little vacuum cleaners going after the flakes. They still need crushed up flakes. I shouldn't have fed them whole flakes, but I thought that that's what they were ready for, but I was wrong. It also seems like they're also going after the algae in this tank, which Angelfish do. Sometimes, you know, angelfish will peck at algae in the substrate or on your plants or wherever there is algae, they might peck at it a few times. I know especially when they're younger, they will go after algae. I've actually had fish, baby fish, survive off of algae a few months ago. But I don't really understand the algae problem that I'm having in this tank, but it's whatever. I just did a water change and I cleaned out the algae like not even like 3 days ago, and that stuff is already growing back, but it's whatever. I also got some algae going on in the 20-gallon tank with these fish, but it's not as bad as the 75-gallon tank. These guys, as you can see, some of them are pretty big. I haven't really moved them into the 75-gallon tank. Not too many losses this time. There was one, and you're looking at it. I didn't see any other angelfish that was dying except for this one, and I really couldn't figure out why, but it does look like it was attacked. It kind of looks like it was bit or charged up or whatever, because I ended up doing another water change yesterday when I saw all the dead baby fish at the bottom of the tank, and I know it's not a water quality issue. It's an issue with them killing each other, but hopefully I resolve that soon, because I'm going to be moving a lot of these guys into the 75-gallon tank. It's just, again, I didn't want to move them too soon in case the filter killed them, because these angels are still kind of small, and I don't know how well they're going to do on their own in a tank with substrate. Substrate is the #1 killer for baby fish, because if you have fish that don't know how to swim yet, they're gonna go into the substrate and get stuck in between the gravel or the dirt or whatever you have for substrate. Unless you have sand, I think they'll be okay with sand, but even then, baby fish, I don't think they do too well with sand. You gotta have a bare bottom tank, and now that I've had the other angelfish in the 75-gallon tank for some time now, and they're doing okay, except for that minor loss, I'm just gonna go ahead and move a lot of these. But some of the ones in this tank are eating baby brine shrimp still, and they're still small and they're still growing, and they haven't grown their little top fin yet, like the rest of the other angels, but that's okay. I mean, I'm not in a rush. They can certainly take their time. I don't want to rush their growth process or anything like that. I just got to be patient. That's one of the main key things with this hobby, is being patient, especially when it comes to breeding fish. You never want to rush anything, and you want to be grateful. Don't take things for granted, and you know, give constant attention to these guys and being very consistent, and you will be rewarded greatly in the end. And when I say that, when you have your high quality angelfish with very nice fins and nice coloration, you can sell those guys off to people out there in this world, because there are people out there who love angelfish, and there are some people out there willing to put a pretty dollar on a pretty angelfish. Trust me, it doesn't really matter what kind of angelfish you breed, as long as they look nice, they are going to get sold. That goes for making videos on YouTube too. As long as it's good, people are going to watch it. So you can't really go wrong with breeding angelfish. And worst case scenario, if you can't find anybody to buy your fish, you can always take them to a local fish store, which I would never do. I've done that before, and local fish stores never ever pay what your fish is valued at. They always pay the least amount possible, so when they pay that amount of money for your fish, they can turn around and sell your fish for a decent profit. Actually, I can't even say decent, I should say a very big profit, because that's how local fish shops work. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there for a second. So whenever you have fish, it's better to sell them off online. I'll be selling mine on eBay, and I can't wait, because I'm going to be shipping these guys in a box like I used to do. And I also want to point out that my silver platinums are still doing great. I thought they were not going to make it, but as you can see here, they are fighting for those bloodworms with the other angelfish, and those other angelfish are huge. They're big, and they're standing up to those guys, and they're letting them know they need a piece of the action too. But anyway, so everything's doing good, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this update. My name is MasterAquatics, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you, young God, for the blessing. Ayy.